SEC Media preseason poll is out. So is the preseason all SEC team. Let's talk about who us that cover the sport think is going to win the SEC championship and who its best players are. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If that is something that you're into, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. Do you agree with the SEC preseason media poll that has picked Texas to win the SEC championship in the year of our Lord 2025? Also going to take this opportunity to remind you we got an audio podcast where you can listen to a long-form version of the show, about half hour to 40 minutes, give or take, 3 days a week. We're coming close to doing our live thing pretty quick here, pretty regularly as we get closer to college football season. And if you have gone to Apple and Spotify and you left us a 5-star review and you filled out the form in the description below, know that your sticker is on its way. If you haven't, there's still an opportunity there for you to do us a solid. Do 5-star review on Spotify, Apple, and fill out the form in the description. I will send you one of these stickers and a handwritten thank you letter from me. So, many folks expected Texas to play for the national championship this year for the first time since 2009, and many expect them to win the national championship this year for the first time since 2005. It would stand to reason that we think that the Texas Longhorns would win their league championship, as it is representative of a large swath of what we expect to be the most competitive teams in college football this year. However, I still think it's really interesting to go through it, starting at the bottom and then moving up. So, predicted order of finish versus how many people expected to get an SEC to win the SEC championship is also interesting because you got two different polls here. You got SEC champion and you got predicted order of finish. I'm going to do SEC champion and then predicted order of finish, which is more like what we expect the standings to look like. Auburn got a vote. Ole Miss got a vote. Tennessee got a vote. Vanderbilt got 2 votes. Florida got 2 votes. Oklahoma got 3 votes. LSU got, South Carolina got 5 votes. LSU got 20. Alabama got 29, Georgia got 44, and Texas got 96. This is, not votes, but points that you're awarded by, how many times you get ranked number 1 and your particular order of finish. I always enjoy these things because they give us a baseline for those of us that cover the sport to give to the audience that might not have kept up with the transfer portal, recruiting, name, image, and likeness, revenue sharing, changes in coaching staff, changes in quarterback, and frankly, changes in how we decide who the national champion is, going from, our previous format, 12-team format, to a straight seeding, right? As opposed to the highest ranked group of champions in the top 25 poll. We're now just going 1 through 12. What is it? It's not to knock anybody. And I think that's what the Big 12 was doing when it abolished its preseason media poll. I think what the SEC did here is right. Leave it until after we're done with media day. So it's not a talking point that you have to entertain as a head coach or even as a writer or a broadcaster. It's not something that you really want to talk about as much as you want to talk about something you can only ask that coach or that player that's fit for them. This is an opportunity for us to ask really good questions, kind of questions that ChatGPT just can't answer. And I always enjoy these sorts of perspectives because it gives us something like, okay, cool. Not just something to talk about, but something to use as a mark. Like last year, Arizona State was picked to finish dead last in the Big 12. They win the conference championship, and they take Texas into the deep water. Nobody saw that coming. I don't think that is hurting the league as much as I think that's Arizona State showing everybody what Indiana showed everybody. Anybody can get it. Anybody can do it. And especially in this day and age of being able to rebuild your roster overnight. So I would not be shocked to find out that there's a team here that's predicted to finish dead last or next to last that opts up and does something. Maybe Mississippi State has something we don't know about except the toughest schedule in all of college football. So predicted order of finish here. Texas at 1 makes sense to us, right? Georgia at 2 also makes sense to us. I think you can flip-flop those because I got a column at foxsports.com you can read where I am arguing that this conference belongs to Georgia. And it's belonged to Georgia since Nick Saban stepped down as head coach at Alabama, but even more so, you take a look at what Kirby Smart has been able to do at Georgia versus, say, what Kalen DeBoer was able to do before he got to Alabama. And I find what Kirby Smart has done to be way more impressive. You know, we got over 100 wins here, fewer than 20 losses, 2 national championships, SEC championships in there when Nick Saban was still coaching at Alabama. Kirby Smart is 53-5 over the last 5 years. Just last year, Kalen DeBoer was 9-4. All right, like there's levels to this, and Kirby Smart is at the top of this with Georgia. They just don't get the recognition that some do because they haven't had a 1,000-yard rusher since DeAndre Swift in 2019. Haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver since 2002, and that's their only one ever. They predicate their game on playing great defense, playing together, playing lots of guys. All those 5 stars get significant snaps. Young guys aren't young when they go to Georgia. They play, they develop, and they get to be outstanding NFL players. 11 first-round draft picks just since 2021. Bama at 3. I could argue this mostly because I haven't seen enough Ty Simpson to believe it, but I know what Ryan Williams can do. They're going to be better defensively. They're going to be really good at tailback. Can't wait to see what kind of touches Richard Young gets. I know what Jam Miller's capable of. I know what Caden Proctor can do on that offensive line. LSU is going to have a dynamic offense. We know this. Garrett Nussmeier is probably going to throw for 4,000 yards. He's got absolute speed everywhere. He doesn't think he has a receiver in the 2 deep that runs slower than 4.4. That's from Nick Anderson to Berry and Browning. They're going to have monsters on the numbers, and it could look a lot like it did in 2019 when Joe Burrow was at quarterback. I don't think he's going to throw for no 5,600 yards, 60 TDs, 6 picks, but I expect him to be really good and them to be there at the end. South Carolina with Lenore Sellers, they showed us last year they came to play. They won 9 games. They can win 10 this year. Florida with DJ Lagway is 6-0 when he starts the game, finishes the game. It's that simple. 6-1 when he just starts the game. They could have beaten Georgia. They probably should have beaten Georgia if Lagway could stay in the game. It's really up to him. If he's healthy, you're good. But the shoulder and the hammy, we just want to see it. I see a Quinn Ewers kind of experience for Florida fans, which is not a bad thing, by the way. That's a conference championship. That's an appearance in a conference championship. That's 2 college football playoffs. And that's setting you up to make a run at the national championship. But you want to do it now with what we think is one of the better 5 stars to come out at quarterback in some time. Ole Miss with Austin Simmons at quarterback is going to be fun. Lane Kiffin knows exactly what he's supposed to be doing, how he's going to do it. Tennessee is going to be fun because, A&M. A&M is going to be fun because Marcel Reed, all you got to do is show me you can throw the ball. If they can throw the ball with, accuracy and limit the turnovers, Mike Elko's defense will do the rest. He believes they're going to have more first-round draft picks than they've had in some time at A&M coming out this year. Or I should say, more NFL draft picks, not first-round draft picks. But Marcel Reed needs to be more than an option quarterback if you want to go and play for the college football playoff. Tennessee, I think it's about Joey Aguilar winning the job and then turning Deshaun Bishop or Star Thomas or whomever into the next Dylan Sampson. They're missing a lot with that guy. That's the SEC Offensive Player of the Year for good reason. When they ran the ball last year, they were great, and they will run the ball again this year. The defense will have to deal with the loss of James Pierce and others, but Jamar McCoy is going to help with that. Tim Banks is a great defense coordinator. Oklahoma figures in at what? Let me see. Now we get Texas, Georgia, Alabama. That's 3. LSU, South Carolina, Florida. That's 6. Ole Miss, A&M, Tennessee. That's 9. Oklahoma comes in at number 10. Yo. All right. So apparently not everybody is on the John Mateer, Ben Arbuckle, Brent Venables calling plays bandwagon, but that's okay, right? I get that. That makes sense to me. John Mateer still has something to prove in this league. So does Ben Arbuckle for that matter. If they're healthy at wide receiver, it's going to be fun. If they're as good defensively as I think they can be, it's also going to be fun. We'll find out a lot with how they play against Michigan. I pick Oklahoma to win that game simply because Bryce Underwood on the road against Brent Venables, first big start on the road. Yeah, all right. Good luck with that. Plus, it ain't like Sooners don't make themselves heard at night or during the day for that matter, but make themselves heard in Oklahoma. All right. Auburn behind Oklahoma. That makes sense. That's the SEC opener for Auburn, which I think is fun. We're also talking about an Auburn team that's going to have Jackson Arnold on the other side, and we'll see just how badly the defense wants to hit him when Oklahoma plays. But I expect Auburn to be better than they were last year. I just don't know that they've got a ready replacement for Jarquez Hunter. They've got lots of potential back there. But that dude was able to carry the load for you in a way that, well, frankly, you got to have guys that demonstrate they can do that for me before I'm going to pick them to do some upsetting this year. Missouri behind them. That's wild to me, mostly because Missouri's schedule's got 8 home games, and there's no easy in the SEC, but that's as easy as it's going to get for them. They don't play Texas. They don't play Georgia. And all their tough games, Alabama, A&M, they come to them, right? Say nothing of the non-conference game. Non-conference slate's kind of weak. Vanderbilt above Arkansas. That's the story right there. Is people expect Vandy to be better than Arkansas 2025. I don't see that. I think Taylor Green and Bob Petrino are going to find a way. Now, they got a tough schedule, too. They get Notre Dame coming to them. A&M's coming to them. They got to play Texas. It'll be fun. But I don't know that I'm going to pick Vanderbilt to have a better season than Arkansas, or I should say finish ahead of Arkansas in the SEC standings. And then you got Arkansas, Kentucky, Mississippi State. Nobody loves former SEC players with other teams more than Mark Stoops, who's got Zach Calzada at quarterback after a brief stop at Incarnate Word. Remember, Calzada was quarterback at A&M when unranked A&M beat Alabama. That's the claim to fame there. Mississippi State, we'll see. We'll just see, right? Preseason all SEC teams. Interesting. Lenore Sellers as your starting quarterback. Not Garrett Nussmeier, not Arch Manning. Not DJ Lagway, Lenore Sellers. There's a lot of people that are buying into what he can do as a player. He's big. He's strong. He's got a huge arm. He can run. We'll find out how much of that translates to 10 wins as opposed to 9. Quintravion Wisner, I think Steve Sarkisian thought that he said this out loud. He's like, I don't know that you guys know that we have the SEC's leading returning rusher in Trey Wisner, and apparently we do, Steve, because he's RB1 here on the offense. Le'Veon Moss at Texas A&M, that's fine with me. Jay Knott might be a guy, but if you're looking at returners, no. Brian Williams at wide receiver, Cam Coleman at wide receiver. Interesting because Nick Anderson is right there. Barry and Browning is right there. I keep going down the list on this one, but I won't. I'm just going to say I need to see more from Cam Coleman before I make him first team all SEC. Eli Stores, locked in. Caden Proctor, Caden Green, DJ Campbell, Austin Barber, and Jake Slaughter. That's 2 Florida kids on the offensive line make preseason all SEC. So that's the thing to watch. Second team, Garrett Nussmeier, Jaden Knott, Caden Durham. Man, I like the second team here more than I like the first team. Aaron Anderson, Ryan Wingo, Oscar Delp. Still like the second team a little bit better like the first team. Goodness me. We got 2 Alabama, 2 A&M players on the offensive line. Third team, Arch Manning, Nate Frazier, Jan Miller. Young and can run. Eric Singleton, Kevin Coleman, Jack Andrees. Oh, man, I like that. I like that a lot. Ernest Green, Chase Bisontis. My bad, Chase Bisontis. Xavier Chaplin. Trevor Gooseby at third team. What the hell is that? Connor Liu. I guess I expected him just on general principle to be first team. That wouldn't be me, dog. I don't know what we're looking at here. First team defense. Keldrick Falk, Dylan Stewart, Colin Simmons, Christian Miller. That's stout. Anthony Hill, Whit Weeks, CJ Allen. That's a nasty linebacker crew. That's Texas, LSU, Georgia. And then DBs, we go KJ Bolden, Michael Taft, Dalen Everett, Jamar McCoy. That's tough, too. All right. Linebackers and secondaries, tough. First team, all SEC. Goodness me. Second team, Caleb Banks, Tim Keenan, LT Overton, R. Mason Thomas, Deontay Lawson, tough. Harold Perkins, Suntarine Perkins. Golly. All right, so let me go at this again. This linebacking crew is ridiculous. Deontay Lawson, Harold Perkins, Suntarine Perkins. Second team? Damn, this league is deep. Defensive backs, Malik Muhammad, Damani Jackson, Will Lee, Jalen Kilgore. Deep. Third team, Tyreek Sapp, Trey Moore, Cam Ball, Xavier Harris. Whew. And then linebackers, Tarian York, Arian Carter, Prince Will. I thought it was Princely, but it's Prince Will. Uman Millen at Ole Miss, Keon Sabb, Boo Carter, Bray Hubbard, Isaac Smith, your DBs. Yeah, all right. Tough all the way through. I think that's kind of it. That I could still look at guys in the second and third team and say that's the first team player almost anywhere else. Tells you just how deep the SEC is. I'm having fun with this, guys. I hope you are too. Now we just know which one of these guys that is going to be on the bulletin board with the wanted poster when we're playing games now. But more than that, It means that football is something like 43 days away, and I can't wait for us to start playing games, dude. I hope you're as excited as I am.